Good afternoon, bushwhackers and wild campers. So I'm heading off. Got a few miles to walk, couple of miles, what is it? About 6 miles to walk. Doing a camp on a solar farm tonight. That should be something a bit different. Anybody else ever done that? Let me know in the comments if you have. It's a little bit overcast at the moment, but we're not due any rain tonight, which I'm quite thankful for. We're just approaching the outskirts of the urban area, the urban aspect. We're just heading down Stockton Lane at the moment. Quite a nice area of York, this. Although it's a bit busy at the moment because the kids are kicking out. The school, that is. It's kind of nice to see some snowdrops coming out. Some signs that spring is coming. So these little few houses here, these are on the outskirts of Stockton Lane. And now we begin our trek on the bit where there's no real footpath. Oh look, a little beck. Don't think I'd get a kayak on that. Brr. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on. Right, that's a couple of miles out the way, and I'm back on a bit of a pathy bit, which is good. Bit hard work on that grass back there. And what I'm doing now, this is a gentle incline to the overpass. This takes us over the A64. It'll be busy over the top of there. Kind of got to boot it across here a little bit. Yeah, and here we are with the A64. Not quite as busy as I would have thought, actually, which is quite a surprise. So this is Holtby Village, Holtby. Lovely little area, this. Quite affluent, I reckon. Some nice kind of rural houses. Don't see one of those every day. Hello. This is a nice idea, isn't it? Good use of the old telephone box. Turned it into a book exchange. What a great idea. Don't I just take you to all the best places? True, right? Holtby Village Hall. And then we're just going to walk out of here. Ooh. Here we go. Nice little cemetery. That's an unusual headstone, isn't it, with the horse on? What does this sign say? Public footpath to Stamford Bridge Road, 3/4 of a mile. Anyway, as I say, we're heading up here and then we're going to turn left at the top and head down the 166 Bridlington Road. Not far now. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be where I am bedding down for the night in that solar farm there. This road is quite busy at the moment, but it will quieten down. But I think if I get quite a way into the back, the panels themselves will add a little bit of sound buffering. And incidentally, I do have permission from the owner to do this. I do some work here on occasion, and well, quite regularly actually. And so he did give me permission to do this camp. And I think you can see one of the big perks of doing this here is not having to bring any food. because there's plenty in the shop. And also I can have breakfast here tomorrow morning. Nice. All right, I've ditched my gear in the field. Time to go and buy some food. I brought wine with me. But there's so much beer choice. Decisions. And of course, one of the big decisions is, do I buy something to cook or do I buy something ready cooked?
You need a bag.
I've got one in the bottom of here, actually. Okay, got some food, got some firewood. Time to get set up. Of course, the big question is going to be, whereabouts in here am I going to go? I definitely think, I'm definitely inclined towards the rear. That didn't sound quite right. The ground underneath these is rough as hell. There's barely an even spot on it, if I'm going to be quite frank. I did a bit of a recce down here a couple of weeks ago. While I was working here, I popped out and had a look. And yeah, as you can see, it's not great. But what is good is from here, and I'm not all the way at the back yet, is the sound of the traffic is definitely muted. And yeah, this is the back one. But what I did find, which quite impressed me, was this little spot here. Because I was planning on just bivvy bag camping. And this was kind of nice and the flattest bit. So I think I'm actually quite glad this is right at the back, because that's it. That's going to be where I sleep tonight. And what I forgot from the shop was to get something like a pork pie or a Scotch egg and a beer to have while I'm setting things up. So I'm just going to go back and get one. I love the fact that I'm camping next to a shop. It's like being on a traditional site without any of that traditional site palaver that goes with it. Got some supplies for when I'm setting up. Right, so that's the cafe area. Big car park. Nice outdoor seating area for the warmer weather. Some kind of gazebo. Some of this stuff went up with the COVID to create some little isolation booths. And then you've got this great kids play area too. Nice, right? And at the back, all that land at the back, up to pretty much that tree line that you can see, that's all farmland. This is very much working farmland. It started off as a pick and mix place. Sorry, not pick and mix. What do they call it? Pick your own. Couldn't remember it then. Started off as a pick your own place, pick your own strawberries, that kind of thing. And it's just grown and expanded, and they've taken on more land. The whole operation has just ballooned. Although I'm pretty sure that's not why it's called the balloon tree. It would be a good one though. Those clouds look a bit ominous. See, there's all these little bits down here. You see where it says sunflowers? I'll show you where they grow them in summer. There's all sorts of little areas here. So that area there that you can see that's all kind of muddy and mucky, that's near the solar farm, that's where the sunflowers grow. God, this ground is rough. That's better. So I've got Thoughtful Forager Hoppy Zesty Pilsner. Oh, that is nice. It's hoppy and it's zesty. And a pork pie. Just to fill a little gap. I am going to cook this evening. Not a slop for a change. That's good. Right. Enough fanning around. Time to get set up. This will help with the fact that the ground's really rough. Now I am going to insulate myself again with the British Army Gore-Tex bivvy with some of that foaming that I keep talking about. I'm going to show you this one day. And I've also got, for an extra layer of comfort, Polish swag mat. This is the synthetic one, not the down one. The reason why I picked this one is it's just that little bit firmer, and considering there are bars on this bed, that might just help provide a bit of comfort against those. Just test that out, eh? That's pretty good. Tonight I am back in my favourite sleeping setup, the Dutch Army M90. Oh yeah. And this got the biffy bag on, the Gore-Tex bivvy, just for some extra warmth, eh? Gotta have a bit of comfort, right? Well, I think that deserves a little break. I have just noticed a minor flaw in my plan. See, my idea was to put a tarp going from that bar all the way to the floor so that I could capitalise on this as the shelter and effectively create like a large pup tent, if you like. However, as I've just shown you, and I hadn't clocked this before, don't know why I missed it, there are gaps in there, in between each one. And basically what that means is if it does happen rain, the way that I've got that set up, yeah. The other alternative, of course, is to flip the bed so that it's directly underneath one of the panels, and yeah, that will naturally be the way forward. I reckon that'll do the trick. I've had this tarp for a while and never used it. I bought it for my car camping trips so that I could create a shelter from the boot to the floor. But tonight, it's going to get a use. So all I've done there is just stake that straight into the ground. And I've just realised there's a big advantage to this in that now, let me just move back so you can see. Now, if the rain does happen come through here, I can actually just move the bed directly underneath the tarp and yeah, long ways on and it'll be dry. Excellent. Well, that's tonight's shelter sorted. Marvellous. Cheers. So what do you think of tonight's little adventure then, eh? Would you camp under a solar panel in a solar farm? Let me know in the comments what you think. Oh, that fire's starting to feel warm. Looks good, doesn't it? Oh yeah. I've got to say, I do quite like this kind of setup. However, it is going to be one of those things where I'll know more in the morning. I might feel very differently then. Got some nice glowing embers in here now, and there's a big chunk of wood at the back which will keep the fire going too. So it's time to cook. And on tonight's menu, Yorkshire burgers. Right, we need a bit more light on proceedings. There we go. So I'm just going to put the ridge monkey into the embers just to warm it up a little bit. What we're having tonight is these nice Wagyu beef burgers. In fact, what I need to do to make this work is split these pans. So we just need to cook those for a little while. Now in the meantime, while they're just cooking away there, it won't hurt to, well, you know, don't get these very often. One with a cork. Oh yeah. Very nice. Now they look as though they're doing all right, don't they? So let's just flip that. Oh, got a bit of grass on there. Excellent. Do like a bit of additional seasoning and flavours. Oh, way! Look at that. Whoa. Oh, cheers, everybody. Way. Calm down, calm down. Camera control and burger control. It's all good. Right, now, what we need to do now is flip that, take that out and pop it on there. Well, there's only one thing that could make these proper Yorkshire burgers. Yorkshire puddings. Right, okay, so one on one side, squish that on, flip that over, one on the other side, squish that on, push that a bit further in, there we go, and we'll just leave that to gently cook for a few minutes. In the meantime, cheers! Let's flip it and have a look after a couple of minutes. Oh, is that looking good or what? Yorkshire burgers. Definitely not going to die of starvation tonight. Oh, look at that. All right. That's had another couple of minutes. Yeah, that's looking good. Yep, don't want to cook that anymore. Let's get that on the plate. All right, before I tuck into that, I've just put a bit of kindling on the fire just to get that going again, because I don't want that to totally die out while I'm eating, because I need that for dessert. And I've also cleaned the ridge monkey pans out because I need them for dessert too. But now it's time to taste test that. This looks proper filthy. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's good. Different, but so good. Yorkshire burgers by More Than Just a Cleaner. That was awesome. Now it's time for dessert. We've got some beautiful embers there. Let's cook. Actually, I don't know whether this constitutes as cooking. Tell me in the comments what you think. You can actually buy these in a roll. I think they buy Just Roll. Jusrol. I've actually bought mine from the Balloon Tree because that's where I'm staying tonight. And what they are croissants that you bake in the oven at home. I don't have an oven and I'm not at home. These will expand. Let's cook. I actually have no idea how big these will get. And this could turn into a right cooking disaster. Only time will tell, eh? Only time will tell. Hey, but while we're waiting, eh? Let's have a look and see what's going on there. Bloody hell, they're big now, aren't they? Sheesh. Awesome. They look cool. All right, let's flip this over and have a quick shufty. Oh, that's okay, a little bit caramelized, but not too bad. So these definitely need to be cooked on a lower heat. I think the other side, that's the side that kind of got a little bit caramelized first. Actually, they're not too bad now. I'm thinking I'm just going to do this. I'm not sure which side looks better for the camera. That side, yeah, that doesn't look great, does it? Let's see. Ah, you see, there you go. Right, this is how you create an Instagram and YouTube illusion. You just hide the burnt side. Now what I've got to go on these beauties, can you see that? Bracken Hill Yorkshire Preserves, Yorkshire Lemon Curd. Beautiful. Oh, smells awesome. If the French had only had some imagination. Oh, Carl, you can't say that. What a bet. Oh, let's get some curd on that. Oh, that looks good. I don't know about you, but I do love a good lemon curd. And I think that qualifies as a good dollop. So let's just spread this all over. I'm going in for the taste test. It actually tastes really nice. Yes, it's a little bit caramelized. But overall, the flavours of the croissant and the lemon come through. And that's pretty cool, actually. All right, I'm quite happy with that. Campsite pudding. It's lovely. You know, one of the weird things is you get yourself really quite warm in front of the fire because it is really nice and you don't want to move. You don't want to go and get into the cold sleeping bag. But then after a while the sleeping bag gets warm. And then when you're in that, you don't want to get out of that because it's really nice and warm. I think I said this in the last video. I do actually really like winter camping, and I wouldn't have thought I would because I'd always been a summer camper. Like I said in the last video, it's only this last year, it's only over this last year, around about a similar time last year in 2021 that I actually first went out with the oldest friend. And it got down to about -2. Don't think it's going to be that cold tonight, but been out in -5 since 2 or 3 weeks ago. And yeah, the fire becomes so much more important in winter than it does in summer. Kind of understandable, but you just don't realise until that's where you're at, enjoying the fire on a cold night when it's about 5 or 6 degrees. And it is so nice. So nice. Look, not even gloves. I mean, I've got gloves. Anyway, incidentally, I've done that thing where inside here, so it looks like I've got a really nice rack at this moment in time, but it's not. It's just my my jeggings and my thermal top warming up inside my coat, so that they're not totally cold when I put them on. Because that's after you've been in front of this, it's that whole thing that your mother used to tell you, isn't it? You won't feel the benefit Yeah. So I'm going to do that thing. I haven't done this for a while. In the morning, they get too many wines. By the time I've clicked my fingers, it will be morning. Good morning, bushwhackers and wild campers. Bit blustery, bit of a blustery night actually. When I got up to have a tinkle, it took me about another hour or so before I nodded back off. Woke up around 7. There's a bit of a nice sunrise going on. I don't know whether the camera caught that. So yeah, have this cup of coffee and then get myself sorted. I'm still in the bag in case you can't tell. I'm going to repeat myself over and over again. This Dutch Army M90 setup is just so toasty. Only visitor I've had in the night was this morning was a cat came meandering across. Don't know where that came from. This bed, yeah, I really like this this camp bed. I'll do a full review on it. But yeah, this high gear camp bed gets a thumbs up from me. I think it'd probably benefit from having a mat on it. I mean, I had the Polish swag mat on, which took the edge off. I think it's one of those, if you lay on your back, you probably wouldn't really notice it. But if you're a side sleeper, you kind of feel it on your hips and shoulders, because that's where all your weight is kind of concentrated. That's the word I was looking for. It's early, give me a break. But yeah, I like this. It's nice to be off the floor. It's a bit like being in a hard hammock. Anyway, coffee. It is a bit blustery today, and there's a lot of drips dropping off the panels. I'm guessing there might have been a bit of a frost. Or is it actually raining? It sounds like it might be raining. Yeah, it's raining. Time to go and get some breakfast. Oh, yeah, that looks hideous. I hope you've enjoyed this little trip out. I know I've had, it's just something very different to do. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. So yeah, if you have liked it, give the video a thumbs up, would you? Be very kind, thank you very much. And if you like what I'm doing on the channel, if you hit that bell notification and the subscribe button, costs you nothing, it just means you get a notification whenever you open up YouTube, whenever I've uploaded another video. And I know you love to watch me do daft stuff like this, right? All right, you take care of yourself. Cheerio.